it's the friendly Scoutmaster. In this episode, I'm going to talk about personal water storage. Personal water storage containers come in two basic varieties: water bladders and water bottles. Okay, so let's talk about the basic differences between the two. So what are some advantages and disadvantages of a water bladder? One of the big advantages of a water bladder is all that water is easy to get to. And so while you're hiking, if you want a drink of water, you simply just take a drink of water. You don't have to reach back and pull out a water bottle or ask your buddy to help you out. You just take a drink of water. So that ease of use really helps promote hydration. So one more small advantage of a water bladder is some find that carrying a lot of, say, 1 liter water bottles is kind of a lot of a hassle. They got to store all those somewhere. They've got to keep up with how many they have. Having a water bladder is a lot simpler. So one really big disadvantage of a water bladder is your bladder is stored inside your day pack or your backpack. You can't see it. It's not easy to get to. So the challenge there is you really have no idea how much water is left in your bladder and whether or not you're about to run out of water. That can become a big challenge if you do run out of water unexpectedly, and now all of a sudden you logistically have to figure out how you're going to get more water in your water bladder. So another really big disadvantage of water bladders is the weight. A water bladder empty is typically going to weigh between 6 to 8 ounces, whereas a lightweight water bottle might only weigh 1 ounce. So the water bladder could weigh as much as 8 times more than a lightweight water bottle. So you're carrying around all that extra weight for really no advantage. Another disadvantage of a water bladder is they might not be as durable as a water bottle. And also the fact that you have all your water stored in one container. If your water bladder develops a leak, you might have essentially lost all of your ability to store water. That can be a big problem. So another disadvantage of a water bladder is if you need to find a replacement part for your water bladder, that's not going to be as simple as running down to the local grocery store or gas station and getting another water bottle. So another disadvantage of a water bladder is they are expensive. And when compared to, say, a smart water bottle, which you can find at your local grocery store for just a few bucks, they're a lot more expensive. So another disadvantage of a water bladder is you're not just going to carry it around camp to drink water out of. It's pretty much going to stay in your day pack or your backpack, and therefore if you want to take a drink of water, you're going to have to go get your day pack or your backpack and take a drink of water. Alright, so let's talk for just a second about tips and tricks on using your water bladder. Now, putting your water bladder when it's full inside your day pack or your backpack can be a little bit of an exercise. What I found the easiest thing to do is just get the bottom of the water bladder inside the day pack, grab the day pack or backpack on both sides, and just basically just kind of shake it and wiggle it and just try to get it to slide down inside the sleeve that's designed to hold the water bladder. Now, if your day pack or backpack doesn't have a sleeve, that's fine. In that case, you should just have a little Velcro hook and loop closure, and you just hang the water bladder inside the day pack or the backpack. So pulling your water bladder out of your backpack, especially when it has water in it, can be a bit trick. Don't grab it by the grab handle, grab it by the bladder itself, and just kind of wiggle it out. Don't force it. It will come out. Just give it a little bit of effort and a little bit of patience. Certainly don't grab it by the grab handle. On a platypus water bladder, if you do that, the grab handle can pop off. Another really handy thing to have on your water bladder drinking tube is a dust cover over your bite valve. Think about it. Your bite valve is what you're going to put your mouth on to get water out of it. The dust cover is designed to keep dust and dirt and debris off your bite valve. So I don't know about you, but I really don't like sucking up sand and dust when I'm taking a drink of water out of my bite valve. So another thing you want to remember to use on your drinking tube is a shutoff valve. So the last thing you need is for water to start leaking out of your drinking tube. Alright, let's talk for just a minute about water bladder maintenance. Now, no matter which water bladder you choose to use, you're going to want to store them where there's no water inside of them. They're not necessarily stored in a warm place because we don't want any algae or any funky stuff to grow inside of them. And we want to store them where they can drain, completely drain out. We want them to dry out. Okay, so the first thing you need to do is when you get back, you want to dump all the water out of them. You want to hang them upside down, whether it be from a coat hanger. Camelback makes these special hooks that you can hang them from something. The point is you want to hang them upside down and where they can breathe. They can get air inside of them and they can completely dry out. If by chance your water bladder has grown some funky stuff inside of it, some algae or whatever, they do make cleaning kits. This happens to be the parts of a Camelback cleaning kit. There's a big brush for cleaning the inside of the bladder. This is a smaller brush that goes down the drinking tube. And you definitely want to clean it out. And then you're going to want to sanitize it. And Camelback makes these special little tablets for sanitization. But you can also just simply use some bleach. And, 20 drops in a 3-liter water bladder is probably more than enough bleach. The bleach has to be new, by the way. More than enough bleach to do the job. But certainly check out the bleach manufacturer's suggestions for sanitization. Okay, let's talk for just a minute about the differences between smellable and non-smellable water. So, anything that's smellable, it produces an odor that attracts wildlife. Most notably, bears. Bears, you could consider bears very large raccoons. They're foragers. They like easy treats and food. And so, artificial flavors, food itself, there are a lot of things that are smellable and they tend to attract wildlife. Okay, that would be highly undesirable, especially when you're sleeping in your tent at night. You don't want to attract bears to your campsite. You certainly don't want to attract them to your tent. So you want to take some care and consideration to keep anything smellable away from your tent, especially at night. So, for me, I want to make sure that my smellable water container, that is, anything that's had artificial flavoring put in it. For example, I'm going to use this smart water bottle. I want my smellable water container to look totally different and feel different than my non-smellable water container, which in this case is this platypus water bladder. And that's because I might not always have smellable water in my smellable water container. But that doesn't mean that to wildlife, they still can't smell the residual smell from the artificial flavoring I would have put in this water bottle. So, I can't be fooled into thinking that, oh, my smellable water is gone, I have regular water in it, it doesn't have a smell anymore. That's just not the case. So, you want to get in a habit of always storing your smellable water in a container that looks and feels completely different than, in this case, my non-smellable water container, which is this water bladder. I never, ever put artificial flavoring or electrolytes or anything in this water bladder that's going to add a smell to it. So this non-smellable water container always just has water in it. It never, ever has anything put in it that will produce a smell. This smart water bottle looks and feels totally different than this water bladder, and I know that even if I have water in it, just water, it's my smellable water container, and I treat it like a smellable item. Alright, how about just a few recommendations? If I'm just going to go car camping and I'm not really going to be out hiking around, I'm just going to bring a water bottle. It's just really convenient to carry around camp and just to drink out of. If I'm going to go on a day hike, I'm going to bring my 2 or 3 liter platypus water bladder. I'll fill it with probably 1 or 2 liters of water, and then I will bring a smart water bottle along with me with about a half a liter of water in it. And it's really just for a few reasons. One, I really just like the convenience of drinking out of a water bladder. Most day packs and backpacks aren't set up to carry water bottles and make them convenient to get in and out of the day pack to drink out of. And also, I I want a little bit of extra water in my smart water bottle just in case I accidentally run out of water in my water bladder. And third, just a personal preference, when I'm eating, I just don't like to drink plain water. I like some flavored water. If I'm going to go backpacking, say at Philmont, I would likely bring my 3-liter platypus water bladder, just so I have a little bit extra storage space in case I need to carry some water into a dry camp. Likely won't put more than a liter or a liter and a half of water in it. And then I'll also carry a smart water bottle with me with about a half a liter of water in the smart water bottle, along with some food flavoring, water flavoring. Now, if I was going to go on a through hike of, say, the Appalachian Trail, the Continental Divide Trail, or the Pacific Crest Trail, I would likely take a smart water bottle, most likely in a water bottle holder that sits on my shoulder strap, which makes it very easy to get to. And then inside my pack, depending on if I was in a section of the trail that was hard to get to water, I would carry a lot of extra, say, platypus water bottles, not water bladder, just because they're lightweight, they're small, and they don't take up a lot of space. Or I would just take my water bladder. If I took my Gravity Works filter, instead of having a clean bag, I would use my water bladder, just only in, say, the PCT on the desert section, or the CDT in the desert section, just where I need to carry an extra 2 or 3 liters of water with me. I might consider taking my water bladder in that case, but likely just because of the weight and being extremely weight conscious on a through hike, I would likely just take platypus soft water bottles, a hard shell smart water bottle that would carry in on my shoulder strap, in a water bottle holder. Thank you for watching this episode on personal water storage.